So, good evening, everyone. On behalf of Student Counseling Services, I, Swapnil, welcome you all to today's workshop, Tech-Enabled Presentation Skills, conducted by SpeakUp by SCS. For those who are new, SpeakUp, a virtual community-driven platform where we gather online for regular group discussions and debates. This is the third workshop of our Exhort series, wherein we will be hosting chains of workshop on communication skills. And today we have with us Mrs. Medha Basu. She is currently working as a lead of communication at Consultivo. She has been awarded twice in presentation skill competitions and has diverse exposure to 100 plus sustainability solutions. Thank you, Ms. Medha, for joining us. It's an honor to have you here. So I think we
Thanks.
can begin. I think we can begin with the workshop.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Swapnil. And a very good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for inviting me here. And I'm really thankful to IIT BHU Varanasi. And it's a delight to be a part of your Exhort series. In fact, I was seeing the Speak Up sessions which you are conducting. It's really amazing. And more to it, it's more amazing to see all of you joining in even on a Sunday evening. It's really encouraging in that way. Like itself, it's very encouraging. So I again welcome you to this interactive session on tech-enabled presentation skills in the new normal. Now, there are certain ground rules over here. If you may please look into it, that you can mute your audio when you're not talking, type the questions in the chat box and raise your questions by using the tool, raising the hand, and if possible, please switch on your cameras. It really helps because especially when we are talking about presentation skills, visual depiction, the physical gestures, it's really important, the facial expressions, and especially when we are connected so remotely now. Well, my name is Medha Basu. I'm working at Consultivo. We are a sustainability, risk management, and business excellence consulting firm. And we are really fortunate to work across the industry and work with the brands and organizations, global brands and organizations like IDH, the World Bank Group, IFC, and UNICEF, like these. And we're also working with the national brands and groups like the Tata Group, Aditya Birla Group, ITC, and many more. Well, I'm also a part of the CII Innovation and Startup Task Force. In fact, being a part of a dynamic, agile, and young organization, I get the opportunity to wear different hats in research, analytics, data, solution experience, customer experience, user experience interface, and in specific, I lead the communication team at Consultivo. And we are having the Consultivo Academy, in which focuses on the training courses and the capacity building programs. In fact, this program is itself a part of that. But more to it, this topic is a part of our daily routine, in fact. Like we are presenting day in and day out. In fact, for example, for every project we do, at the end of it, we make a report and we make the decks. So that can be a project deck, inside deck, deep dive deck, different types of presentations. But at the end of it, it's all about communication. So that's the basic reason I'm here today, to pull the curtains back and show you what goes around and behind a good presentation while making it. Well, it's an extremely vast subject, and today we need to wrap it up by 60 minutes. So obviously we are not going to cover everything in details, but we will focus on the technology-enabled presentation skills. Now, before we dive into that, I have got two questions to all of you. Okay, and for this, you may please use that tool of raising a virtual hand. So are we ready? Yeah. So the first question is, how many of you over here have given more than 10 presentations till now? Please raise your virtual hand. I want to see that. Okay. I see so many of the hands coming up. Anyone else? Okay. Now my second question is, how many of you have given more than 10 presentations virtually? That is on the digital platform. Okay, let me reframe my question. How many of you have given more than at least one presentation virtually? Okay, there's quite a lot of number of hands. Great. Now, may I request any one of you to share where did you present and what was the one challenge you faced during that time? Whoever raised their hand during the second question, can you please come up and answer?
To be honest, I like in online the biggest problem was connecting with the people. Like it is actually tough to connect with them. And offline it was easy. You can connect through eye expressions. You know what thing they like and what they not, and you can easily relate with them. So this one problem I particularly found in online presentations.
Absolutely. Connecting with the audience feels so distant. So true. So true. Okay. And may I ask any one of you who has given more than 10 presentations till now, physically and virtually, to share his challenge, his or her challenge? What was that? Come on, it's an interactive session. You can just say it.
Though I haven't shared any presentation physically till now, but I would like to share a problem which I faced during presenting it online. The problem was that while making the PPTs, there were a lot of backgrounds, so it was really confusing how to choose them, like which background actually fits for best for the topic.
So you felt a difficulty in understanding the content, in developing the content design, right? To align it with the theme.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you were selecting it from any template like in Google Slide or any such software tools like that?
Yes, sir, I basically selected it from Canva
Okay.
and
There's a lot of
MS Power.
options there, and you need to understand which one will fit where. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. It will really help me to customize and navigate this session today, and we will be talking about these. Okay. Now I am moving on to the slide and showing the picture about which we are going to talk about in the next 55 minutes or 40 minutes. So this is a pizza and that's what we are going to talk about. Now, I am not mistaken, surely not mistaken about today's topic. I understand, and with reference to that, I want to talk about the pizza model. So when we talk about pizza, we talk about the base, we talk about the topping, right? So the base is basically the main ingredient, the pizza bread in this case. And in case of, with reference to our today's topic, it becomes the basic presentation skills, the core skills which was required years back, which is required now. In fact, it's required especially now, because we are always presenting, we are always pitching about our ideas, about some events. We are always presenting ourselves. In fact, if you notice, we probably in a month, if we are presenting with slide like 5 times in a month, we are actually presenting ourselves at least 100 times more throughout the week. We are presenting it anywhere, everywhere. And now, if we talk about the topping, so generally for the pizza, we get the cheese and olives, mushrooms, all of that you get. And in today's session, our topic is the technology-enabled approach to address today's challenge in this world when the world is going through a digital transformation. So that's the core concept for our session today. We are going to talk more about the topping, but again, the topping cannot be there without the base. So we are going to talk about the base, we are going to talk about the topping a little more. Now, to get your presentation skills in a flow, here is a very simplified blocks we can break into. There are 3 blocks: the presentation, the climate, and you. So when we talk about the presentation skills and we break it down into these 3 modules, this is everything we are going to talk about today. Now, of course, since this is a very broad topic and we cannot cover it in this just a one session, but today I intend to give you a brief, prep up the setup, prep up the stage for you, where you can at least understand what are the things you require, what are the checklist, and what are the things you need to know to upskill yourself in for the presentation skills. And at the end of it, I want you to get that spark, ignite that curiosity, or and get that confidence that yes, I can create a statement presentation, I can create wow moments, and especially I can do that in today's digital presentation and have a great experience. So these are the things I intend to do it today, and I also intend to have a great time. Okay, now coming to the presentation, when we talk about it, fundamentally there's 2 things. One is a presentation with a slide, other is a presentation without a slide. So a presentation without a slide, that always comes along the public speaking, and that itself is a huge other subject. So it's a different, there are different other interventions attached to that. But today we are going to only focus on the presentation with slide. So how do we start? Any idea? Can anyone just maybe type in the chat box that how do we start a presentation? What is the very first thing coming into our mind when if someone tells you that, okay, you need to give a presentation on this thing, what is the first thing coming up in your mind? Come on, just randomly, please unmute yourself and tell. Do you want to talk about the slide? Do you think, okay, I need to first know who are my audience? Okay, what time it would be taking? What are these? Any of these coming into your mind?
Actually, ma'am, there are too many answers on the chat box. So they are saying title of the topic, definition of presentation, appropriate title. So you guys, you can also use the mic. Like we are not in an offline setup, but we can treat an online one like the same.
Absolutely. Unmute yourself. That would be really great. We're discussing on the topic of presentation skills and we want to interact. Okay, so what's the topic? Great. title of the presentation. Okay. Now let me go back to my slide and let's start from the beginning. So it always starts with the objective of the presentation. So the objective is the purpose. So why am I presenting on that? So the reason for presenting, that is the first thing, because that enables us to go to the CTA. CTA means call to action. So at the end of the presentation, we need to make the audience go through a transformation journey and opt for the CTA. So any presentation is not about sharing information or transferring information from the presenter to the audience. It's about convincing the audience with your message and convincing them to take an action. That's the CTA. So please identify that at first, aligning with the objective and purpose. The next thing we think about, and we need to customize the content accordingly, is the target audience. So who are those? What are their expectations? Why are they here? What do they want to do? These are the questions we need to understand, and accordingly we can develop the content, edit. And now we come to the time allotment. So this is one of the most common thing we ignore during our preparation time, that is the time allotment, segregating the modules as per the time. We often want to give it all, say it all, make the audience know it all. Well, it might be a great intention, but it's a very fussy practice. So it doesn't really work. A presentation comes with one message, one CTA, and you need to drive it throughout. So here's a tip. What you can do is identify the CTA and then come in a backward flow. So if it's like, I want my audience to take a certain action. So for that, what are the things I want them to know? So accordingly, frame it and draw the content flow or the storyboard, what we say. So every presentation comes with a storyboard. And as I think Swapnil was saying that it was difficult to understand which content should go in which slide. So a story, that's one of a tool, the storyboarding, which we use to understand which content should be which slide should be having what content and what are the communication point, and accordingly select the template or design the slide. Now, at the end of everything, it's about communication. It starts with communication, it ends with communication, it's communication anywhere and everywhere. So for example, if we take today's example, what is today's CTA for this session? What is the CTA? Well, I tell you, since I'm saying it all the way that we cannot cover each and every topic over here today, and that's not the intention as well, right? So you can get a guide, a complete guide, which is basically a summary of the good practices, the to-dos and not to-dos, all of that. So we have a resource for that in our website. You can go there, go through it, and get that vibe, right? And at the same time, I also saw the Instagram post by your SES team where they have also shared. So that's also amazing. So there is no dearth of knowledge. Honestly, we all have the availability of knowledge and resources. But to convert our interest into action, that is what I wanted through this session. So that's how our flow is going, and I hope we get into it. So So most of you are having a lot of knowledge on how to design a presentation and how to go with the slides. So here's a quick activity. Can you tell, again, please raise your hands, all of you, whoever likes this slide. How many of you are here who are liking this slide? Two people? Five people? Done? Okay. Now, out of so many of you, only 6-7 people liked this slide and the others didn't. So whoever did not like it, like, can you randomly please tell me any one reason why you didn't like it?
Hello.
I'm showing it again. Yes.
Hello, is my voice audible?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I did not like this slide because there is a lot of text in this, and in the second part, the font size is like the font is too much big, and the second it's too small, and also like the image at the top right, it's not like I don't feel any kind of like I don't understand what it tries to say, so that's why I don't like this slide.
So it's
And the
not
color combination,
relatable. The photo is not relatable at this moment, right?
yeah.
Also, there's this something written below that, gograph.com or whatever. So that's also not looking nice. And there's the readability issue in the first line, that it's written in cursive, which is not very easy to read. Then again, as he mentioned, the first paragraph, it's too big and all bold, doesn't look good. In fact, like whenever you feel there's something to highlight, go for thicker texts, thicker font size and big font size, but do not bold and do not go all caps. That's really, that doesn't look good, and especially in case of presentations, it really reduces the readability. And also in the last paragraph, the color combination, the text is in black and it doesn't go properly with the background color, so it's not readable once again, right? So these are the, what to say, NCs here. Now this was basically a presentation content which was designed for a school, for the school students. It was on Jolly Phonics, and this was the content, and it was redesigned in this way. So how many of you are liking this now? Is it better? Unmute yourself, please. Do you feel it's better than the previous one?
Yes, this one is far better.
So no one else is liking this? Only one? So this is for the kids. So it's having the fun color combinations. It's having the photo which can bring a tint of curiosity. And it's like, out of all these content, the main topic or the main communication message is actually in bigger fonts, and the rest, which is the supporting, which people may read, may not read, it doesn't matter, it doesn't change the message communication. Those are in small font size. So that, and there's the most important thing, there's a huge blank space, white space, there's space to breathe. So that's how this slide was being redesigned. And is my slide moving now?
No,
ma'am.
it is not.
Okay. Okay, yeah. These are the technological glitches we face every day. Right. So this is how this is a live example of how a bad slide was converted into a clean and nice one. Now, likewise, I'll now show you another live example. This is actually a snapshot from one of our survey projects. So this was the content we received from our technical expert. So there's a population profile. It's about the population profile for the survey we did, right? So by now, has any of you gone through the whole slide, read it all? Any of you? Please say no if it's no. It's okay.
No, ma'am, we've not.
No, you did not? That's sad.
No.
Okay. Right. So this was the technical content which we are supposed to convert into a visual depiction with the here's a lot of data you can find, but unfortunately it seems just paragraphs to us right now. So the data visualization was to be done, and this is how it looked. So at a glance, those two paragraphs is now visually depicted. So how does it look now? Is it, can you get the communication message out of this? So here we talk about the population profile. Here we talk about how many locations we had, and out of all these people, 59% did this and 41% did this. So that's the data visualization. It's a live example from the deck, one of our decks of a survey project. Now, whatever we said till now was basically the base of the pizza bread. And now we are moving on to the next block, the climate. So this is the topping. So especially when we are talking about the technology enabled presentations, the climate matters a lot, because what used to happen previously that we used to get big LCD screens, we used to get all prepped up for the presentation. The audience is waiting for us just to listen to us. But nowadays the audience is mostly on the move. So they are seeing it while traveling. They have just opened the window and doing some other work, some other important urgent works. A lot of things are happening. And one of the most critical thing here is that the thing which changed, what matters in a traditional presentation and a digital presentation is that in these digital presentations, now the screen size has drastically changed, the screen aspect ratio and the size. So from LCD screens, we have just directly jumped into mobile portrait mode. So when we just scroll through these YouTube videos and it's in the portrait mode, we don't even bother to make it landscape. Most of the presentations, trust me, are seen like that. So it's very important to make your presentation appropriate for the mobile portrait mode as well. So here, previously we used to have a rule of 6 that we should not have more than 6 points at a glance. And now this is a very, very, very important point coming up, that all our slides should not have more than 6 points, and better if we can visually depict it. So all of it, this presentation, if we consider it as let's say a product, so now the climate is the packaging. So for that, we need a good internet connectivity. Normally 25 to 50 Mbps works well for these mobile streaming and web meetings. And always keep a backup whenever you're doing it. So there's if you're doing it from your broadband, keep your mobile hotspot ready so that in case there's any issue, you can switch to the mobile hotspot. And in case you're doing it from mobile hotspot, keep another mobile as your backup. Next, we are coming, when you're doing it, always keep your laptop in full, charged in, and use in all of these things. If you are the presenter, try to do it. Make sure to do it from your laptop, because we normally do not do it from mobile as the screen space is really small. Even though I understand the camera of the mobile really looks better than our laptops, but never mind, just ignore that and use the laptop. It gives you more flexibility throughout, and as much as possible use the inbuilt tools like cameras and audios or microphones. So in fact, today when I just joined the session, I was using my headphone with the laptop, and there was some clarity issue regarding the voice. So now I'm not using it and using my laptop's direct audio and microphone, and it's working perfectly fine. So actually there's a lot of these compatibility issues, especially in these platforms. Your laptop microphone might perfectly work fine, but when you are doing it on Teams, it might not work, but you're doing it on Zoom, it may work perfectly. So all these compatibilities issues come up, and you just need to fix it by going through it. There's no other option, and trust me, no one actually minds anything out of it, because we are all struggling in it, and no one expects you to have a glitch free perfect presentation. But as much as possible, keep it put it all in. And so when we talk about the camera as well, you can go with the desktop cameras, but normally it's the external webcam. So again, that there's a lot of compatibility issues, especially in Zoom and other such platforms. So try to go for a 15-inch laptop. It works perfectly. But again, 11-inch, 13-inch works totally fine. And while you're giving the presentation, use the DND mode. So that's basically do not disturb. That's for MacBook. And also in Windows, what you can do, there's a focus assistance option. You can use that, which will disable all the other notification as per your convenience. And when you are opting for any presentation, keep your time for the practicing it on the platforms. Normally we do it on Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Zoho Meeting, Google Meet, or GoToMeeting. These are the ones we normally use in the professional world. Most of it happens here. So all of it are having most of the time the same features, but again, you need to practice, you need to understand the tools, and there are a lot of tools. You can do some polling, you can do the virtual hand raising, you can use the comment section to engage with your audience. That's extremely important, because it's like whenever you're traveling, take your audience along with you. So with every slide, make sure you're connecting with your audience. And also that these technical glitches come. In fact, today I just had it a moment back that I was changing the slide, but it was not moving. So just take your audience, interact with them, ask them questions, use the icebreakers, ask them about some very candid things which is easy to answer, and that's how we can stay connected. It's no more about interacting, but it's more of staying connected with each other. Now with this, we are moving to the third block, which is you. So you are the basically epitome of the presentation, the epicenter. You can, whatever you will be presenting, that's your message. Be comfortable with it, be convinced about it, and keep your presenter's note along with. But for me, I'll say the best presenter's note is on the slide. So have those keywords on your slide with which you can just have a glimpse, look at it, and you'll get it. That it's like a cue. But apart from it, you can always use the physical paper pen and write it down in big font size so that you can just have a look and you get the cue. Apart from that, the attire really matters, especially in the professional presentations. But at the end of the day, it's your presentation. So be comfortable, look smart, be you, and whatever works. In fact, since today is a Sunday and I was going to interact with the students, so I chose to be in informal way. But if this same session was to be taken in was held on any CII platform or in front of my target audience were the board members, then maybe I would have coupled up it with a jacket and make it formal. So these are the little things we all know, but we need to get it all together. And also the light really matters. So here's for you. This is I'll show you 2 takes. So take 1 and take 2. Right? So it's up your call. Fix your lighting. And there's the meeting and presentation etiquettes, which you want to let your audience know throughout, that when they should, what they should do, when they should do, what are the things you are expecting out of them. Are you expecting them to be interactive throughout and ask you questions wherever they feel, or you'll have a Q&A session at the end of each module or at the end of the session? So keep these things clear. And at the end of everything, what matters is communication. So communicate your message, be confident, and be you. With this, I am now showing you this photo. This is one of the iconic presentation skills moment. We always show it as an example. Now, who can tell me about this magic moment? Come on, all of you must have seen this, know about this, read it somewhere or the other. Any one of you, please?
Steve Jobs presenting iPod.
Perfect, exactly. So here's the example. Can you tell me what was the magic moment? We can refer this with the presentation skills. Okay, so this was a moment when he launched the iPod, and he could have instead talked about its features and gigabytes and other technical stuff, but he instead said, your entire music library fits in your pocket. So that's the analogy he drew. That's the message for the common man, because as a common man, I might not be so technically sound to understand how many gigabyte means how many songs and all of that. But he brought the concept that 1,000 songs in your pocket, the entire music library is here. So that's what he sold, and that's what created the magic. So likewise, with this, we are concluding the session and we are having a recap time, right? So let us quickly rewind and go through the whole process. And then whenever you feel like questioning me regarding this, please feel free to ask. So at first, we talked about the pizza model. And over there, we understood that the base is the basic presentation skills and the topic is the technology enabled approach. So when we are starting a presentation, we can simplify the whole process into 3 blocks. Can anyone tell me what are the 3 blocks? Yes.
Climate and you.
Sorry?
Presentation, climate and you.
Perfect, perfect. Absolutely. The presentation, the climate and you. So when we go with the presentation, we start with, what is it? The first thing we start? Anyone, please?
Understanding the objective, like when we prepare a slide for what purpose.
Absolutely.
Then we should understand the objective of how the slide.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's the objective that we start with and aligning the content hence with. So after that, we understand the target audience. So this target audience thing, it's like, you know, when you're talking to an Italian baker, you talk about pizza. But when you're talking to an Indian baker, then maybe you talk about rumali roti or naan or tandoori roti, all of that. So it's basically the same ingredients, but the recipe is different. The cuisine is different. But at the end of the day, it's the cuisine which is meant for our appetite, our delight, and it's delicious. So we are here for that. And the third part is the time allotment. We have to wrap it up and communicate the message in the right way. And it all revolves around, and the end point is the CTA, call to action. Now coming to the next block. So the block is the climate. So are you having any question for me in this block? So the climate has changed a lot, right? That's where the topping is. We want to improve the digital experience. We want to make it more technology enabled, and the things we can do, we have got the checklist. So any question, or should we move on to the next block? Okay, moving on. So the third block is the you. So it starts with your presentation. It starts with wherever you find modulation, you want to do the voice modulation, take the proper pause. You can present your message in whatever way you're comfortable with. These are the things for you, and the rest is just great. So I want all of you to please go and get the checklist where you will find all the details about it. So it's absolutely there in our website. I'll maybe share the link in the chat box, and you can go through it. And maybe if there's anything you would like me to cover, you can ask me, drop me an email. And you can, of course, contact me over LinkedIn. And with this, I end my session, and I'm open to questions.
Hello, ma'am. I have few questions from my side.
Yes, sure.
In the meanwhile, I would request the participants to write their questions in the chat box. So the first question which I have is that while giving the workshop, you mentioned about icebreakers. Can you elaborate a bit? Like, can you give some examples about icebreakers?
Icebreakers. Okay. So the icebreakers are the ones with which we can feel comfortable and get in touch. So since it's extremely remotely held, so what you can do is there are certain games you can play. There are certain quick questions you can ask. There are certain, like for example here, you can use a story to start the conversation and then ask the moral of the story, or ask about what was the most shocking point in the story you found. So such very simple and easy conversations you can do for the icebreakers. And one of the most easy, which we often do practice, is that you ask the participants anything about them. So this is something everyone is very comfortable in saying. So ask them first of all about their name and maybe some adjective with which they describe themselves. So maybe your name is Swapnil. So I'll ask you, hey Swapnil, can you please use an adjective and describe yourself with any word which starts with S? So that's the example of an icebreaker. I'm sure doesn't matter what background you're having or what age you're in, you will be curious to answer this.
Okay, ma'am. One more question which I have is that you mentioned about Steve Jobs. So I had read somewhere that Steve Jobs used to walk a lot while giving his presentations. But when we see Elon Musk, he most of the time while giving the PPTs, he stands still. So do you have any particular preference about the two aspects of giving a presentation? Like which one should we prefer?
Okay, so the answer lies in the block 3. You. It's the you factor. Whatever you are comfortable with, you're free to go ahead with. So yes, Steve Jobs used to prepare he used to set up the stage live and prepare for like 4 days and 5 days before the thing, and he used to have these props. Whatever he will be doing, he used to meticulously do the same thing over and over again, and you can see the magic happen, right? We can see the magic happen. And likewise, if someone is doing it spontaneously, if someone is making the magic in with some other recipe, that's also, we should appreciate that, and that works very well as well. So it's totally up to you, whatever works for you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
We can have some more questions from the audience side. Feel free to open your mic and ask your questions.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Sure.
My name is Vibhu, and I just want to ask a question. So
Hi,
when
Vibhu.
we give, yeah, so when we give a physical presentation, we can express a lot. We can express our background, what our emotions are. But how can we just do the same in a kind of a virtual slides or something, a virtual presentation?
So are you talking about the body gestures?
Yes, the body gesture,
Physical
all the
movements?
actions,
Okay.
feelings.
Well, of course, the virtual presentations, digital presentations are having a limitations that we are not able to express it all at a go. We do have these restrictions, but at the same time, you have your voice. You can do the voice modulation as like you can create a dramatic scene. So drama is not what I might be a bit overemphasized, but you can create the climax, as in how we always do in any storytelling approach. There's a situation, there's the climax, there's a situation, there's a challenge, there's the climax, and there's the solution. So accordingly flow your content, and this kind of works all the way, be it physical presentations in a room where everyone is there, or it works in virtually. But yes, the retention capacity or the attention which your audience is giving, it's very challenging for you to hold their attention and go through the flow throughout. But again, that's how we need to practice and do it.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for your answer, Meda.
Thank you.
Ma'am, there is a question from Yash Kumar Jaiswal. He says that while giving the PPT or while giving the pitch, should we have our scripts ready? Like at which slide, what should we say? should we prepare it beforehand or should it be spontaneous?
Well, I would say it should be 100% beforehand. You should always know your message, because that's not what we call it a script. That's something which you believe, right? So it's something which you can say it anytime, every time, just not for the specific presentation. So get yourself, deep dive yourself with the content, the theme, and just out of that, from that, like from the space where you're confident about the topic on the session, you can develop the content. That's how. So it's actually the other way around. First your script is ready and then you prepare your slides to make it, visually, to visually communicate. And in fact, the slides are actually a tool for you which is supporting your presentation. So the first thing is your script, if you call it, or the storyboard, and the script, and then it is represented through slides. So you should always have the storyline and the script ready.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I have a question that as we practice communication skills like with our peers and friends, so while speaking, what kind of how we can develop the emotions? Like when we speak, sometimes we only read the content, and sometimes we speak in a way that it it mix with the emotions that really feels good. So how should we practice to build emotions while speaking?
Okay. So this is a very real challenge which all of us are facing. And there's a term called NLP. So that's a psychometric intervention with which we can understand the audience a bit better. We can use those interventions and understand if they're going through our way, or they're expecting something completely different from my session. So understanding that is actually the first step, and then to connect with them, kind of making them emotionally connected. And obviously this emotionally connection doesn't happen overnight, or doesn't happen, hardly happens spontaneously. That obviously comes once you are extremely confident and you know what your audience is asking for. In fact, I'll just share a story. It's not directly related to this question, but it relates to the target audience, to understanding the target audience. Okay, so there was an advertisement by beverage company, and it's a real life example. In fact, this actually happened, and so it was a pictorial advertisement with a visual effect that it had 3 blocks. So the first block showed that a very tired man was there. The second block showed that then he had that bottle of beverage, and the third block showed that then he became a very refreshed and energetic person. So that was the ad. It was fantastically designed, and it was it involved a lot of budget, and they expected the boom in the sale. But unfortunately, none of it happened, and it was extremely a downhill thing. The sales got down. So when it was analyzed, it was found that it was actually this pictorial depiction advertisement. It was in the Middle East, and over there they read it from right to left, not left to right. So it just the whole situation was upside down. It was like a very energetic person having the beverage is getting tired. Okay, so it really doesn't, if you understand over here, the emotion is there. The emotion or the message, everything is there. The drama is there. That's how to become from a super tired person to a super energetic person. But if you could not connect with your audience, if you don't know about them, doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Thank you, ma'am, for your response.
Ma'am, one more question I have. Like, we saw your LinkedIn profile. You have won a lot of presentation competitions, right? So nowadays, most of the presentations actually demand data. They are data driven, and in these competitions, in like slides of in a deck of about 10 to 15 slides, there's a lot of data, and usually they give you time around 7 to 8 minutes to present it. So how you used to do it? Like, did you really focus that much on the whole procedure? Suppose you are estimating the market size or something like that. How you proceeded towards it? Like, what were the things you focused on? So any views upon this?
Okay. I'll ask one more question. What kind of decks are you looking forward to? Is it the pitch deck are you talking about?
Yes, ma'am. You can relate it to it.
Okay, so I have not directly worked on the pitch decks for the investors, but I have worked on the pitch deck for the other stakeholders, and we normally work on the project decks. So that's the insight deck, as I was saying in the very beginning, that we work on the, for example, there's a project that a social impact project. Our company has invested certain amount and the CSR committee has been doing the work. So what is the impact it has created throughout the year? That's what we do the survey, assessment, and all of that. That's done by the technical team. And then they give us the outcome. Right, so that outcome somewhat looks like the survey snapshot which I shared, which I showed you in my presentation. It's kind of a document. So from there, the analysis, before that, the analysis is done, and then the outcome is there, and then we prepare the deck. So again, the deck, or even though it's for other customers or it's for any other technical project, but again, it should always end with the CTA. So the data, there's a lot of data, and we cannot, no data is enough, right? We can always drill down and filter and more of it. But the, I must say, the data which enables you to take a decision, that data is what you need to represent in your deck. So is it enabling the viewer to take the decision? Like I may say, here are 70 people, out of them 4 have scored this much in maths and this much in English and this, and this is the percentage, this is the average mean score, A and everything. But that's not my intention. That's not, won't help me in today's presentation. So I want to know out over here, out of so many students, how many of you have given a presentation till date and how many of you haven't. So that actually will help me to understand. And at the end of that day, it's all about simplification. Communication is about simplification. Decks is about simplification. Presentations is about simplification. It's communication idhar udhar sab jagah. It's simplify the information, the data, and communicate in such a way. That's why we call it at a glance message. That you can just at a glance look and understand what it is. You don't need to go through all of it, understand, open several other tabs on your Google Chrome and check, okay, so this is how it flows. These are not the example of an efficient communication.
Yes, ma'am. So the crux is that presentations are to simplify, not to complicate, and we need to highlight the important data points, and we need to prioritize like what data is really important and what is not. So that will be helpful.
Absolutely. And with this also comes the visual representations, which we often use in decks. So when you talk about, as you said, prioritization or risk analysis, the visual representation, there's a element called heat map. So it really helps. So at a glance, you can see that like the heat map comes along like what are the elements and what are the red, green, and yellow zone. So how many are red? How many are yellow? How many are green? In total, is it like all red or all green? So at a glance, we are representing. So you can use a lot of other infographics and mind maps, filters, all of it works. Just make simplify the message and enable the viewer for decision making.
Okay, ma'am, that answers the question very beautifully. So one more question I have, like among us, there are many first yearites. So these guys actually prepared for JEE and then they thought to come to college, but we are having an online semester. So they are stuck at home. So they did not get much chance to explore. And, you know, like we all have to make presentations someday. They will be doing it a lot. So what kind of resources you use or you will suggest us to use to start with?
For making the presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will get a lot of these tools. It's available for free. It's available like on a paid or subscription basis, but that's also quite affordable. So you can go with a PictoChart, Infogram, Canva. There's also beautiful.ai, and yeah, so these are the softwares which are already having extremely good templates from where you can pick up. But again, at the end of the day, if you are not clear about your message, these templates won't really help you in designing the content, because these templates are like designed by someone else with some other message in mind. So you need to understand, and I mean, from here you can get the color combination reference. From here you can get, okay, the how the positioning must happen, how the alignments, we can play with the alignments. You can get the reference of the text, like the text font size and font size, all of these clubs up. So you can get references from these, but at the end of the day, it's your slide, you have to make it. And also nowadays, since everyone is using it, so it looks very the same, pretty much the same for everyone if you go with these templates. But please take references, and maybe you can club up. From one template you take the color combination, the other template you take some icon, and the other template you go with the element. So it's like that. And apart from that, photos, it really matters a lot. In fact, nowadays these photo heavy presentations are extremely liked by everyone, because again, it's the visual depiction. So there's many number of there's a lot of these softwares and platforms from where you can down, like Shutterstock, but that's probably paid. So you can go, there's this one called just a moment, okay, I can't recall the name right now, but even in Canva, from there you can download the photos. Okay, the software's name is Unsplash. Yeah, so they're having extremely great photographs with great resolutions. You can customize the resolution as in how you need. So you can get it from Unsplash. They have an extremely great collection. And also these types of PPT, presentation development template softwares are also having photos. So you can get it from there. And this resolution I'm mentioning because, at the end of the day, please do not go to the Google and go to the image tab and get the images and download from there, because we have moved on quite a lot from that era. So those photos don't look nice and they have a lot of copyright issues as well. So go to such platforms like Unsplash, get your photo downloaded and have a great resolution, because no one wants to, because our expectations as a viewer has increased like so much that we don't want to see a great picture with a bad resolution. So this, please take care of it. And again, a picture communicates more than words. So you can, if you can, take full use of its power.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. It was way too many resources. You guys have noted down the names. It's just like searching a lot and collecting gems which matter to you. So are we having any other questions left? or shall we have the vote of thanks to ma'am? Well, it seems a no. So finally, it's the time for vote of thanks from our side, because you gave your precious time, your Sunday evening to us. You told us about presentation, and you represented such a beautiful analogy with the pizza slice. And apart from that, apart from presentation skills, you taught us more than that. Like you were present 6 minutes before the time. You were present at 5:54, right? And you were checking your mic, you were checking your laptop, and your screen share. Means you said that you said key technical glitches may happen, so you were preparing for it, so that told us a lot. And then you found a technical glitch while changing the slide, and then you very beautifully used both of those anecdotes into your presentation. So that was a very good example for us, like we were watching about presentation skills and their application as well at the same time. So just one more thing left, like I will present my screen for that.
Sure. Thank you for your kind words.
So I think you all can see this. So this is city of Varanasi, the Ghats of Varanasi, and this is the memento we give to all the speakers who come to IIT BHU. So this is for you, Miss Medha Basu,
Thank you
for
so much.
gracing our session. I hope
It's
all the
very beautiful. Thank you.
I hope all the participants would have loved the session.
In fact, I was so excited to be a part of this session, especially since you all belong to the IIT BHU Varanasi, and Varanasi is itself the cultural hub, spiritual hub, and I also belong to the city of joy, and we also have this culture related things. So I was extremely excited. It was great connecting with you all, really.
So maybe Swapnil, you can put down the link for the feedback form so that we can improve much more than this in our next session, right?
Yes, absolutely. I am giving the link for the feedback form.
And also, I think I can share the link of the blog, which you can go through. So this is having a brief summary. So whoever is interested, you can just go through this blog and this checklist. It's an action guide. And I have just tried to get you curious in this session. Now it's your turn to take the step ahead. Give me a moment. Yes, I have posted in the comment section. I hope everyone can see that.
We all should check it out, and we will also post it on our Discord server and the WhatsApp group for further reference. Okay, ma'am. So it was a pleasure to host you here, and
it's my pleasure to be here.
I think the session could not have been much better than this. So it was really great.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so I think we can finish the session now. The recordings will be available on YouTube SES channel, and we will also share it with you, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Sure. And also, you can please share the feedback with me. So
yes,
that will also
definitely. Yeah.
I'd love to see that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Let me finish the recording.